What crisis? Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Talkin Kop. We are here for a post-match reaction show.
Oh.
I'm your host, Matt. I'm joined by the lucky Chris and the lucky Kev. Ashley's internet is getting knocked in and out by some storm. Lucky her. It's finished at Anfield. Liverpool 1, Manchester United 2. Chris, worst run for the team in over a decade. First time since November 2014 that we've had 4 straight losses. What the fuck is going on with the Reds?
Are you doing it, Kev?
What's that?
Chris?
Hello? Chris?
Can you
Chris,
not
are you
hear us?
there? Looks like...
Well, we are off to an absolute flyer. Kev,
Yeah,
I'll pose the question to you.
Yeah,
what the...
It's fucking shocking, mate. It's absolutely fucking disgraceful. Give me 1 second. Hang on. Let me just...
Just not a serious team anymore. Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear us now. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Very weird. Very weird. Well, so far our stream is working about as good as Arne Slot's game plans are.
Yeah. I don't know. Look, I didn't understand it from the... I seen the lineups drop, and I thought, okay, fair enough. You know, if that's the way he wants to go, fine. And then within a few minutes, you've seen the way the setup was. You're like, what the fuck is going on there? It was so disjointed. Everything. He's had like 2 weeks to work on this. And this is the best he's come up with. And the worst of it is, it's not as if we didn't have any real chances to win that. Or at the very minimum, get back into it. But it was fucking poor. Yeah. You know, there's no other way to describe it. 4 losses in a row. Yeah, it hurts. But at the end of the day, they're not a very good side. And we made them look really fucking good. We made them look like they... You know, we made it easy for them in a lot of ways as well. I don't know, man. I'm just completely, totally fucking frustrated. You know, totally frustrated.
Yeah. Chris, do we have you back?
I think so. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, might be a bit of a delay on it there, so we'll just have to give you a little bit of run.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you, but can you hear us?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Yeah, but I think there might be a slight delay in it. So
you got a few seconds behind. So I'll throw this to you, Chris, and give you a little bit of runway to go with it. Give us your general thoughts on the game and the state of this team after another very disappointing performance.
Quite simply, they're just not a serious team anymore. I could accept losing the odd game in the last minute, like we did with Palace. That's 3 games in a row now. You've got yourself level, and you're throwing it away with powder puff, piss poor goals. Off the ball, Liverpool aren't interested in defending, marking runners, shown by the first goal, because the captain just wanted to palm someone off rather than actually defending the fucking ball. The winning goal, Kanate just wasn't willing to do the fight for it. Front 3, front 4, missing sitters, can't pass the ball 2 yards to each other. Midfield balance was all wrong. McAllister playing as a 10. We haven't played him as a 10 for fuck knows how long. So, yeah, loads of questions. Not many, barely a positive. So, all in all, capped off a pretty shit 4 or 5 weeks, 4 or 5 games now. And this Liverpool side need to wake up fucking quickly, or you're already 4 points behind Arsenal now. So, and they don't like losing many games because they don't concede goals. And you need to wake up because you've got Champions League in 3 days' time. You play like a Frankfurt will take the piss out of you. So they need to wake up and stop feeling sorry for themselves and start playing some proper fucking football, because that wasn't even kids' football today. You know, my daughter would play better football than that, and she's only 12. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I'm just frustrated, and because it's them, it makes it even worse. Their first win at Anfield in 10 years. First time Amarin's done back-to-back in the Premier League. This is the United side that we all take the piss and laugh at. Currently 2 points behind us. So Liverpool need to humble themselves now and realise they need to fucking wake up, and wake up quickly.
Yeah, it's some of the people in the comments echoing what both of you have said so far. I mean, Sookbeer here with this comment: same old, bad first touch, bad passing. Our basics are just so bad, and we have been since Klopp's last season. Our first touch is so bad. We take hours to move the ball around. It's just so slow. It was something, Kev, that I had noticed within the first 10, 15 minutes was we'd get the ball in that middle block kind of area, and we'd be passing it around, and we'd be getting off the ball runners from people in our forward line. Isak would make a run in behind and no ball would come. And then Salah would make a run in behind and no ball would come. And then Gakpo would make a run in behind and no ball would come. And then we'd pass it around the back and then try a hoofed long ball and it would go out for a throw in. And it's just everything about it, like you called it out with the lineup. The lineup doesn't feel right. And there's a few people in just absolutely astounded that Alexis McAllister got a start in this game. Like, everything was off with this, Kev. Like the individual performances were poor. I thought pretty much every single player on that pitch today, with the exception maybe of Cody Gakpo, had a very, very poor game. Oh, and Curtis Jones. I thought Curtis Jones was excellent when he came on. But I mean, we'll get to the second half when we get to the second half. Like, they looked completely disjointed, like strangers. And they can't look like strangers because they're all about to pile into a Volkswagen Golf to lead the stadium, because that was fucking clown behavior.
I didn't mind McAllister starting. I do mind McAllister starting and being asked to do what he was asked to do. He was asked to do the job that you brought in Florian Wirtz to do. But I can't for me understand why you're asking your two of your three central midfielders to go and stand next to your striker when you're trying to build up a play. Square that circle for me, because I just fucking can't. Games are won and lost in midfield. You control the middle of the park, you control the game. And for all of the times we hit the woodwork, for all of the efforts that we had, we never looked like we had any control in the middle of the park. We looked like we were one pass away from then getting 1v1 in all the time. I think bar Konaté's mistake for their third goal where he didn't get out on the line, it was probably his best game for a while. He carried Virgil through a lot of that. But start at the start, look, first 2 minutes that we go one down. The elephant in the room. Michael Oliver's excuse is he didn't see Alexis McAllister get his head split open, which is contrary to every fucking picture that's out there. But that aside, Virgil steps in to try to lazily win a ball, then loses it. And instead of sprinting back, he ambles back, passes off Mbuemo to Konaté, who can't get across. He's not fucking Linford Christie. He's not getting across to make that block. Because on the other side, there's a player inside him that he can't fucking leave. So he has to come across to try to save Virgil. He couldn't get there. And it was a good finish. Keeper might be slightly disappointed. But you're one down inside 2 minutes. I mean, talk about give yourself a mountain to fucking climb. The one thing that we all said over the last couple of games was we lost through late winners. You know, you're not helping yourself going one down, but it's a late winner that killed you. This is just like 2 minutes in. And if you're not going to win the ball there, if Virgil's not going to win the ball, foul someone.
Yeah.
Because you're out of position, you're exposed to back line, and it was a very easy. Because other than that, Manchester United didn't really do much. They had a couple of half chances in the first half, but in general, there were chances that we gave them because we didn't have a midfield at all. The whole midfield space was completely vacated. And I can't wait to hear Arne Slot have to answer that, because he has to come out and answer that. How the fuck did you ask Alexis McAllister to start that game, play him in a position that you brought Florian Wirtz to play in, and then tell Dominic Szoboszlai to go on the other fucking side and do it?
Yeah.
This drives me fucking nuts.
You mentioned the elephant in the room. Chris, we'll come to you on it. I mean, is there a case for that goal to not be allowed to stand from Manchester United, because there are protocols around head injuries in place? Kev shared the video with us at halftime that shows how close Michael Oliver is to that collision. There's no way he didn't see it. It's just impossible. He's standing 15 feet away. It's the ball being contested. Obviously, the referee is going to be looking at the ball. and he lets play go on. We obviously still have to defend it. There's no excusing that. That's fucking pathetic defense from us. But is there a case for Liverpool to be aggrieved at the VAR and the referee for letting that play continue?
Yeah, I think Chris is having problems hearing us. I don't think VAR are going to call it back. VAR aren't going to get involved in it. That's a decision that has to be made by Michael Oliver on the spot. He's got to see it. It is a head. It is a head collision. It is a head injury. He splits his fucking head open. I mean, I've said it for years that the Premier League don't take concussion protocol seriously. They haven't done for a while. It's not the first time you've seen it, and it won't be the last. And that still doesn't excuse what happens after. But primarily, Oliver has to see that. If he doesn't see it, what the fuck is he directly looking at then? Because he directly looks at it twice, and he looked back at it. So he just lets it go. And the worst of it is, they said it in commentary as well. It doesn't matter if it was a United player that split his head open or Virgil going through him split his head open. It doesn't matter. The fact that he split his head open and they allowed play to continue and they just played on, irrespective of whether they scored or not, it just makes an absolute mockery of the whole fucking concussion protocol thing. Then they play people off to the sideline for 30 seconds. All that shit is all fucking nonsense. You know, it doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I have a tough time feeling too upset about it because there wasn't a ton of time. It's not like McAllister was lying on the ground for 20, 30 seconds and they played the ball around and he didn't stop it. Like, it was fairly continuous from the collision. The ball's played out and then straight in. I mean, it's so poor. I mean, Chris, if you can hear me at any point, you feel free to jump in on this because, like, Mbeumo just runs straight. Like, he goes for the ball and then just runs straight towards our net, and nobody defends him at all. We have Chris at all. I don't think we have Chris at all.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think we have Chris either at the minute.
I really don't think he can hear us. So, Kev, it's just going to be me and you. Okay, I'm going to move on to. I think there's two giant questions. One of them is just a basics thing. Then a few people have mentioned the basics and how poor they've been. I said this to you guys at halftime. What percentage of the balls that they played long that were headed by Ibu Konate?
No, I mean, we'll talk about Oliver in a minute. And I think the Oliver thing highlights a bigger problem in football. You not hearing me?
Yeah, we're hearing you.
Okay. You're like you're like
played, though. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with Chris.
Yeah, we're gonna have to boot you out, Chris. Yeah, that's almost impossible to work with.
If you know what that is, I mean, this is the problem with when you vacate the midfield. So many times, Virgil and Ibu won the vast majority of their headers. I'd have to look it up, but I think they won them.
Yeah, they beat the forward to head the ball, but they headed it directly back to Manchester United.
Yeah, it was the fact that the second balls were going nowhere, and it's one of Virgil's probably strengths in the air is the amount of times when he does head a ball, he almost passes it, and he gets you on the front foot, or he gets you into a position where you can at least play the next pass. But it felt like in the first half, mainly in the first half, wasn't so much in the second half, but in the first half, we were conceding in that area of the pitch way too much from their headers. And maybe it's because of the fact that the middle of the pitch was so vacated that it just stood out like a country mile. You know, it really fucking hurt. It really hurt us in that we couldn't maintain any kind of control. So we'll see what Sly has to say about it after, because he's got to be questioned on that.
Yeah, well, it's a terrible show to be missing Ashley to fire the quotes in for us. So if somebody wants to step up and do their best Ashley work and fire all the post-match quotes in for us, because there's definitely a few questions that the media and in the mix zone, they're going to be desperate to be putting to these players because there's some serious issues. The other thing, Kev, that I think really needs to be talked about, and it got a little bit better in the second half, but I don't think that excuses it, is what is Milos Kerkez doing? He was, I thought he was a massive liability for us. He's diving into tackles. He started to take the handbrake off a little bit when we were really throwing the kitchen sink at it at the end of the game, and he looked better. He's so passive on the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't drive the game. He doesn't push the game. And to me, that feels like, considering that he's a younger player and he's new into the team, to me, that feels like a coaching issue and not a player issue. That feels like he's getting the ball and going, remember what you were told, and he stops, turns around, and he passes it back.
Oh no, look, it's 100% an Arne Slot and a technical issue. He can't. It was today was screaming out for him to overlap Cody Gakpo. You had Ahmad, who's a winger, playing at wing back. It was screaming out for him to overlap on Cody Gakpo all day long and just create space. That's all the run is supposed to do. You can't do that if your 8 or your second 6 is playing as a second striker, because there's no one behind you. So you can't. You're stuck between a rock and a hard place. All you can do is the position that he held next to Cody Gakpo. That's all he can do. He can't move from there because he's the first line of defense ahead of the centre backs. What do you want him to do? It's purely, totally, 100% on Arne Slot. Absolutely, totally to blame. I can't blame the player because he's doing what he's told to do.
Yeah, like it has to be that. But even the individual, so like he's being coached poorly. He's being set up incorrectly, and it's not working. He's also not doing the individual things that he needs to do. Like there was one ball, I think it was either Mbumo or Ahmad out on the right wing, and it was so clear that he was baiting him to dive in.
That was Ahmad.
That he could dig the ball over. It was so obvious that that's exactly what he was doing. And he's like, what's that? A hook, line, sinker. I'm taking that. And it's,
that's, but he does that.
Albie Moreno's kept.
He's always done that. He's always defended like that. He goes to ground. Sometimes he doesn't. Other times he gets 1v1. He'll go to ground. The one thing about that, when he went to ground, he got back up and he recovered. We got the ball back and we got on the go. But he will give wingers a chance to get him booked. And to be fair, more often than not, he hasn't been. He's generally been, when he goes to ground, he either slows up a player or he'll win a tackle or he'll give away a throw or he even if he gets beat. I think bar Semenyo, and Semenyo has been ripping it up against everyone this season. Yeah. Semenyo gave him an absolute torrid affair. But defensively, the rest of them, he's been all right. He's not the problem. You know, he's far from the problem. I mean, the problem, I feel for Cody in a way. Three times he hit the woodwork, scored one, missed a sitter.
Yeah. It's the most Darwin Núñez game that Cody
got. Timeless makes the point there. Robbo offers much more at his age. Doesn't matter. What's Robbo going to do? He can't overlap either because McAllister's not there to cover for him. McAllister's in standing next to Isaac. So it doesn't matter who you play at left back. You can fucking play Prime Ashley Cole at left back. It doesn't make a blind bit of difference. He can't move from the spot that he's in. The only thing that Robertson probably does offer you a lot more in is his build-up play is much, much better. Robertson's build-up play, his passing is much better. Other than that, that's about what he'll offer you. And like I said, that today wasn't our issue. The issue was completely, totally the midfield and the lack of it. There was a couple of times Isak was unlucky. Well, saying he was unlucky. It was an unbelievable pass from Kanate to find him.
Ah, gorgeous.
And, you know, he should have put his laces through it, went for the corner. Instead, he side foots it and tries to curl it away from the keeper. The keeper made a good save. But the pass was outstanding. You know, so there were moments in that first half when you're looking at it and you're like, fucking hell. Cody Gakpo one, the one where he gets put in, it was 2 passes. You know, it was one in midfield, pass out, and another pass out. He squares up the lick, takes a shot, and it hits the center of the post. Yeah, you know, you're talking inches. That hits the post and goes in. You're going in 1.5 time. You regroup. At the same time, they had a couple of half chances as well where we shot ourselves.
Moments after Gakpo hits the post for the first time, and that came through Mo Salah playing like the Mo Salah that we've gotten used to against Manchester United for the last 7.5 years. That looked like Mo was just going to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, because you're right. The ball gets kind of 50-50 in midfield. Szoboszlai gets it off to Salah, and Salah plays an inch-perfect pass. Gakpo's first touch is gorgeous, and he hits the post. Okay, that's rough. And then immediately, they're down the other end. Ahmed Diallo's on the end of a long crossfield ball. He just runs at Kirkez, skins him easy, and cuts the ball back to Bruno Fernandes, and I don't know how Bruno doesn't score. Like, that might be the second biggest miss besides Gakpo's header.
He shaves the outside of the post.
Yeah.
He shaves the outside of the post. 9 out of 10 times you're backing him to get that on target. And in fairness, if you'd have gone in 2-0, that would have been the gut punch, because while we weren't, doing much going in an attacking sense, we had a few chances, but we weren't really suffocating them. They didn't create much going the other way, but they didn't have to. They were 1-up. So it wasn't up to them to make the game. Once they got 1-up, they settled into the 5-4-1 and looked to play in the counter. And who could blame them? Odds are from the second minute through to the 98th minute, you're going to give up chances against every side in the Premier League, irrespective of who they are. But especially you get a side who are going to be compact and make it tough for you. That you're going to get frustrated, and you're going to give a bad pass, and they're going to turn you and get away in the counter. But I just, for the life of me, did you expect changes at halftime?
I mean, yes, but I think I do every game. I think I'm like the majority of fans. You get to halftime and you've got some time to stew on what the hell's going on here, and you immediately demand changes. Very, very rarely does it actually happen. No, I wasn't really, just simply because Kirkez hadn't taken a yellow card. I think if Kirkez had picked up a yellow card in the first half, he probably would have seen the hook in the second half, and would have brought Robertson on. But no, I would have liked to have seen our changes come maybe 5 minutes earlier, because again, it wasn't just working. Like, we get to halftime, it's clearly not working. You come out, you give the players a pep talk. You tell them to go back out there and see if anything changes. And really, we had a wide free kick. Mo flighted it into Gakpo. He hits the post again for the third time, which is amazing. That's when Gravenberch gets caught with Mbeumo and goes down. Hopefully, we don't have any long-term.
No, that looked a sore one.
Yeah,
that looked a sore one. This twisted. He rolled his ankle, didn't he? So. He played on okay, but he was a bit ginger on it, and they put it on ice. So you don't think there's any ligament or anything like that damage, but it's probably just a rolled ankle. Might miss out midweek, but should be available again for the weekend.
Yeah, it's
that's got to be the hope.
Yes, well, we had a little bit of success off of wide balls being floated across everybody in the box and landing at the back post. Like, Gakpo had that one from Mo that he cuts in and puts it onto the post, and Mo had two where the ball falls to him at the back stick, and he just needs to do better, and he doesn't. We have a little bit of a counterattack on 54 minutes. Mo plays it to Isak, and they start running, and Isak's just head down towards goal.
I remember that one because Mo closed off the angle for the pass. He literally ran in between two players and they closed them off.
Yeah.
So it was just one of them. It needed Salah to either check his run to drag someone away or check out wide to open the space. But when he carries on going straight through, it's it closes off all the avenues. It only leaves the only option you have then is to have a dig.
Yeah.
But the changes.
It ends up being a corner, and it's not bad. I got to give credit.
Wow.
56 minutes, Casemiro takes the perfect example of a professional foul by a holding midfielder you will ever see. There is a break coming on. He fouls him. He's hurt, and then he gets the yellow card, and he's substituted off. Perfect work. That's perfect experience. the changes come, and we get to some of the talking points, Kev. We get Florian Wirtz coming on, doesn't get the start. We get Hugo Ekitike coming on. Should he have started? And then we get Curtis Jones, who comes on, and I think at the end of the game, everybody will be saying Curtis Jones probably should have started that game. We looked better once Curtis Jones came onto the pitch.
Kind of been saying it for a while, but I don't know how Curtis Jones would have fared given the roles that Arne Slot asked the midfielders to play. What Florian Wirtz comes on and he gets on the ball, and immediately we speed up. The passing just gets faster, the play gets faster. We look more threatening. We look like something's happening. He has to play. He just has to play. No matter what system you want to play, no matter what variation of midfield you want to play, you have to get him playing, you have to get him on the ball, and you have to let him play 100%, because he just makes shit happen. Whether it's drawing players onto him, drawing fouls, or playing the pass before the pass. Do you know what I mean? He's in that 30 minutes, he showed he showed glimpses of where he's going to be going. Curtis Jones comes on, and he's a safe pair of hands in the middle of the park. He'll keep the ball. He'll look after it. He'll keep you ticking over. But that's fine if you've got someone like Wirtz as well. You can't have two or three of the same. You have to have contrasts. And then the other one, Hugo, comes on, and he looks lively from the off. He looks like he wants to get a shot on, and he got some power. When he digs one from outside the box, he's got some power in his feet, and he's not afraid to take it on. If it doesn't work, he'll take it on again, and he'll keep doing it. Whether he should have started or not, Isak tucks away that chance he had in the first half, and it's not a question.
Exactly.
Did you get me? So it's one of those.
But he didn't, though, Kev. So
exactly, it's one of those. But he still gets himself in the position to get the chance. You look at the rest of the service that Isak had in the first half, and would Ekitike have done anything different? No. The service into him throughout the first half really wasn't there for Isak. Apart from that one pass from Konate, I don't think you could hang your hat on anything that he could have done any different. It's just you almost wanted, and I keep saying it until I'm blue in the face. You wanted the three centre-backs for Manchester United not to have someone to play up against. Instead of having one to play up against, they had three players standing up against them. They didn't really have to. Nobody got dragged out. There was nobody. None of the back five for Manchester United really got dragged out by the forwards that were up against them to create space for someone to make a run in behind. I can't remember it happening at all. And that's down to the tactical setup that we played with. It baffles me. It really fucking does. You could have taught. You can still toss a coin between Hugo and Isak, but without service, it doesn't matter who you start up front.
Except because it's hard to disagree with what you said, because I think the plain facts are just laid out for everybody to see. But there is the possibility that the one chance you're talking about in the first half that Isak did have, that Ekitike converts that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
There's every chance that he just has that extra little bit of pace that lets him get a better angle on the shot, and he puts it by instead of letting Lammers get his right foot out and save that ball. I think we're at the point now where the three that came on in the 61st minute there, Wirtz, Ekitike, and Jones, I think they all should be starting in the next game. And if it means you gotta upset a few people, because there's a lot of people that are starting to have serious questions and serious concerns over Mohamed Salah, because the legs look like they're full of lactic acid. Like, it looks like age is catching up on a guy that looked like he was ageless.
Yeah. Look,
and then when you see Federico Chiesa come onto the pitch, and you see how it's got a bit of headless chicken about him, but he's running around. He's bringing pace. He's bringing dynamism just by moving around quickly. And Mo is so not that anymore.
It's really, really fucking difficult because of what he's done. But if you had been in a desert for the last 7 years and you turned on today and you saw Liverpool's most the highest wage earner, and you told him, yeah, it's Mo Salah, you'd be sat there like, how the fuck did that happen? Because it doesn't. What we're trying to do doesn't suit what he's offering. And in fairness, when you're playing with two centre forwards and with half an hour to go that are 6'4" and who can win balls in the air, you saw what the difference what Frimpong made in 5 minutes, where he took on a player and got two really good crosses in. That doesn't come from Mo's side. Not often enough. And if it doesn't come often enough, as a striker, how are you supposed to time your runs?
Yeah.
How are you supposed to time your runs if you don't know when the ball is coming? And the other side of it is it wasn't as if he was isolated either in the game, because there was plenty of players around him. Bradley kept making overlapping runs for him all the time. And he just couldn't get away from, I think it was Dalot. I mean, it's clever from United really having a right footer playing left wing back, purely for a defensive point of view, because Dalot I don't think got forward very much at all.
No.
And so you've got basically you've got two fullbacks on that side. So Salah goes inside, Shaw's got in. If he goes outside, Dalot's got in. And if you don't have supporting players coming from midfield because they're already tucked inside, what can you do? The system, what he's asking of the players at the minute don't suit certain players, and Salah falls into that category. It just doesn't suit what he can do.
It's an absolutely perfect segue to what I wanted to ask you, Kev, which is, do you need a VPN, Kev? Because NordVPN is absolutely excellent, and you can get a discount code in the show description on YouTube or on a podcast. Check it out. If you need a VPN to hide what you're doing on the internet or just change where the internet thinks you live, check out NordVPN. What I actually wanted to ask you, Kevin, it's something that I was kind of formulating during that shit show of a game, is, are we playing with a team that's bought? Did we buy players this summer and assemble this squad to play in a post Mo Salah world and are still playing with Mo Salah? And is because eventually we have to plan for life without Mohamed Salah. And this summer, on paper, at the time, seemed like we were doing a very good job of who's going to be scoring goals for us in 5 years' time. You bring in Wirtz, you bring in Ekitike, you bring in Alexander Isak. There's goals there. So we're clearly forward planning for life after Mohamed Salah, but the manager won't drop him. And it feels like those two things are at odds. And that's kind of what you were saying, is that we're trying to play a game of football that can't have a Mo Salah in it, that also has to have Mo Salah in it because of who he is for the team.
I said it the other night when I was talking to Ashley, I think it was on our Patreon, that if you have Mo Salah in the side, defensively he's going to be an issue.
Yeah, he's a -1.
So you compensate for that. But when you're trying to do that for two players, because Isak isn't going, you don't want Isak tracking back as well and sitting on their number 6 and trying to be like a defender like Bobby was, because it's not him. It's not his game. So when you have two players doing that against good sides who keep the ball and will pin you in, that's going to be a huge problem for us. I don't know how he's going to get around this. The thing is, you can't really use the excuse of new signings for what happened today, because only two of the outfield players that started today are new signings. So 8 players that started today outfield for us won the title last year. So it's not a problem with personnel. It's a tactical problem, and it's a setup problem. And it's also a case that even Salah himself said in an interview at the end of last season, sides are working him out. The start of last season, up for probably 4 or 5 months, sides didn't know how to deal with him. Partially because of his form, he was on fire. But the other side of it was the tactical setup that we were using at the start of last season. By the last third of the season, sides had worked out Salah a bit. And it's no coincidence that his goals kind of dried up. And that's just continued on this season, where you'd hoped at the start of this season, you'd see something tweaked and something added to the way we play to help him out, but it just isn't there. And it goes back to, we all went into today hoping that, okay, you've had a shit week. You've had 3 losses on the bounce. You've had 2 weeks to work on it. We hope to see something tactically a lot different. And yeah, it just wasn't there. I mean, Pierce, what's that Pierce saying? There's conversation to be had in McAllister also. Yes, he's out of form. But with Wirtz and Gravenberch for the future, we can't afford the luxury of McAllister, where we clearly need a proper deep line midfielder to facilitate. That's fine, Pierce, but he wasn't asked to do that. He was asked to play as a second striker today. Clearly, on the ball, McAllister and Szoboszlai on the ball, vacated midfield and bombed on. So it doesn't matter. Ideally, I think that Jones should be starting. I think there's an argument for Szoboszlai starting as a DM in a system where you play two and one kind of supports the number 10, but shouldn't be getting beyond the number 10. Do you know what I mean? At least that way, you're allowing your fullbacks to make overlapping runs. Where at the minute, when both your 8s or one of your 6s and your number 10 are almost in advance of your striker, you're creating. I mean, the amount of times United had 3v2 options at the back today, purely because of the way we were set up, is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a collection of square pegs and round holes and pieces of fruit just for no reason. Also thrown like nothing. I don't know. Nothing seems to work, and yet, Kev, they're bad enough, Manchester United, that we were able to draw level in the game. I don't know where it was. Oh, there we are. There's a lot of shit notes that I had to take before we got there. Florian Wirtz doesn't get on the score sheet for an assist, but plays a central role in this. It's a bit of pinball in the United box, and he's got the wherewithal and the presence on the ball to slow it down, take that extra half a turn, feeds it out to Chiesa, who popped up on the left at this point. He was kind of everywhere when he was on the pitch, and Chiesa fizzes the ball across. First celebrations, Gakpo turns it in from short range, celebration, and first replay, and it was like, uh-oh. And it looked like it was going to be tight, but when they actually slowed it down, you could see that Gakpo was actually well onside.
Yeah. I think it was Dorgu.
At this point, Kev, I felt real positive.
Yeah. I think it was Dorgu played him. I saw it. When I saw the goal first, I was like, he can't be onside with that much space. He can't. He has to be off. It just looked off a mile. But when you saw the cross come in from Chiesa, and it was a lovely cross. It was a really good goal. It was a really well-worked goal. I mean, Virgil does well to win the ball back in the first place. Gets to Wirtz, composure, ability to play the right pass, weighted it. And Chiesa makes a lovely cross across the box. Gakpo slots it in. And at that stage, you think if there's got to be another goal, it's going to be ours.
Yeah.
Because they literally locked up. They shut the door, sliding the bolts across it, doing everything humanly possible to hold on to that lead. And it looked like there was only one side going to go and win it from there. And we shoot ourselves in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah, the winning goal has to be Harry Maguire from a fucking set piece. Like, if they were going to get a winner, Kev, it was going to be Fathead Harry from a set piece.
Hey, look, he's good. He's brilliant at it.
Right? Yeah.
He's made a serious career of it. You could see this is probably the only thing that Konate did really badly in the whole game. He comes out to try to play offside, and as soon as he tries to play offside and doesn't get there, he's off balance. He can't go backwards to clear the ball. Maguire is going to be coming onto the ball, and he's in the air earlier. And he towers over everybody, gets the header on target. Brilliant cross, Bruno Fernandes on the volley. Absolutely sublime cross. Good finish. But I think if Konate doesn't try to play offside, I think it's just his instinct to try to play offside because he sees the ball where it's coming from. He thinks he can get there. So that's part of its instinct. But once he doesn't get there, he's always going backwards. And if you're going backwards, walk backwards and try and jump. And then have someone standing behind you jumping as well. See what happens. And it'll happen all the time. If he holds his ground and attacks the ball from where he's coming from, he probably clears it, because the one thing that for the vast majority of the game, set piece wise, we defended set pieces, defended their corners really well.
Yeah.
It's just that it was an unbelievable cross, and once Maguire gets the run on you, you could be fucking Dan Burn on stilts. I'll give him a chance, and he took to the way.
It's another goal, though, Kev, that comes from a broken up play. So the first goal is the collision of McAllister and Van Dijk with Mbeumo going up for the ball, and then it's bang, bang, and the play's broken down. And this comes from the first cross coming in, being blocked, I think, by Frimpong maybe at that point. It hits off somebody's back, and then there's a second phase to it. And it's like we go from being, because I agree with you, we dealt with their set pieces fairly well. Obviously not that well. We conceded from one at the end of the game, but you get what I'm saying. And I agree with you. Is when it was set, when it was okay, and here comes the ball in, we were good there. It was when the play broke down. And it goes back to what was driving me absolutely bonkers in the first half, which was the fact that every time the ball would be headed long, we would win the header and play it directly to them. And then the whole play would break down again. And that's when I think the whole season, and I think it probably goes without saying that it's most teams, struggle when you get that breakdown in play and there's a quick change where it's not what you were expecting to happen. Yeah. Everybody's going to be susceptible in those situations. But like the breakdowns that led to the Bournemouth goal, the first one, plays going along and then play gets broken up, and it's in that split second where we just look absolutely clueless.
Yeah.
And then it's a pity that Chris and Ashley weren't here, because it was an absolute cavalcade of corners to end the game. And we just weren't going to score.
No. The one chance that we did have was Frimpong got by his fullback, put a lovely cross in. Gakpo has to score that.
He has to.
He has to score that. You're inside the 6-yard box. Nobody around you. You're not challenged. You're in the air. You get a good contact on it. Has to score that. Even then, you're sat there. You come out of it 2-2. We're still having this conversation, by the way.
Oh yeah.
So that doesn't change. But there was times in that game where I just felt that we're banging our head against a brick wall. The amount I was just going to quickly look it up while you were talking. How many corners did we actually fucking have? Because it felt like we had a ton today.
I think maybe 8. I think we had 3 in a row right at the very end, 90, 91, 92. We just had corner after corner after corner. And it...
9. Yeah. We had 9 corners. I mean, the way the stats worked out, we had 11 shots off target, 6 on target, 19 in total. Hit the woodwork 3 times. We had 16 shots inside the box. Only 3 from outside the box. And an XG of 2.76. So you look at the chances that we did have good chances today. And for all of the doom and gloom and the fact that how pissed off I am, we still created enough chance to get a result today. And be it poor finishing, poor luck. When you hit the post through, one of them I'm not counting. The one where he tries to cross it. Yeah, the cross. That's just mishit. And you take those when you get them. But the other 2, yeah, that's just fucking unlucky.
Avo pointing out that their goal stems from Szoboszlai throwing the ball to Mamardashvili on his right side. And that was something I noticed a fair few times, actually, was that the players are playing the ball to a right-footed keeper when he is a left-footed keeper.
But,
and that's that basic shit, Kev. It's passes. When did Virgil play that ball right out of play? When we had the ball, we had them penned in. We were putting players into the box. We looked like we were going to push for the goal. And Virgil has the ball, and he goes to play a 25-yard pass to Gakpo, and he just kicks it right out of play.
Yeah, no, I remember that one.
What?
But on that one with the throw-in, Szoboszlai goes back to the keeper because there's no one else making a run. No one else getting free for him to be able to give it, get it back, and play a pass through. That was a fair old fucking distance that he had to throw that as well. And he kind of telegraphed it. So,
Can he not pick it up, though?
No.
Could he not have picked it up?
No,
can the keeper not pick it up off a throw-in?
No, I don't think so.
I thought they could.
Right,
either which way. It's just It's contriving ways to throw games away for no reason. Like, one of the few things that Chris managed to get across before his internet was so poor that we had to just ditch him for the day was, it's just soft. It's just weak play. Like, not losing
as well.
games.
It's composure under pressure. It's the one thing that you could throw at us for the last few years. Under pressure, we generally, our decision making has been good. Today, for the last few weeks, even you can go back most of the season, decision making under pressure has been poor. And it's small details again. Today, simple things. There was, like you said there, the pass from Virgil out to Cody. He bounced past it, gave it to it. There was one that he bounced past to him instead of passing it along the ground. Yeah, he had to pass it in the air because it was going to get cut out. But at the same time, why make the pass? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Turn around, give it to Kanate, get it back, and make a better decision. You know, it's a lack of composure. And that can't be down to new signings. It's not. I mean, there's a reason why we've struggled defending a title. It's harder. It is harder. There's no doubt about it. But we're making it hard for ourselves as well by setting up the way we're playing and turning games of football into games of basketball. You know, that's all we did today. And we set ourselves up to turn it into a fucking head case of a game. When it wasn't.
Okay if we play basketball, if we make our simple uncontested layups. You know, if we convert our chances.
Yeah,
you know, you come out of that game 3-2. You don't feel too bad. Oh, yeah, it's a bit helter-skelter. It's here and there. But if we want to turn it into a basketball game and go, I have more faith that our attack is going to score more than your attack is against our respective defenses, then let's do that. But we'll get the ball. There was only a couple of times where, like, that feeling of like, oh, shit, here we go. Liverpool are on the break. You know, the red arrow streaming forward. There was only one, 2 times that happened.
There was one that was... It got broken up on the halfway line, and a lot of that was because of I think it was Mo just doesn't have the legs to get away from players.
Yeah,
and he recognizes that, and he turns around and lays the pass off. So that's fine. That That's going to be an issue going forward, but at the same time, yeah, there's a conversation to be had around Mo and what we're going to do about it, because how are you going to turn around and tap him on the shoulder and say, look, you can't do what we need you to do. So you either have to adapt how we need to play, or we're going to have to change to try to get the best out of him. And even if we do, can he still deliver what we need him to deliver? I don't know.
And his passing has lost that pinpoint precision that he had last season, where last season we were on these shows talking after wins where Mo Salah didn't really have a great game, but then he popped up in the right spot and got that goal, or in a lot of cases played an incredible pass where he used the inherent danger that he still carries because of his record in this league, being such a dangerous goal scorer, that defenses were committing to him, and then he was able to find the right angle to play that little side pocket pass or the outside of the left foot sort of pass last year. And he was, 20 assists. You know, it speaks for itself. He was excellent with it. This year, his passing, it's far more likely that he's going to try to play that little lead pass for the underlapping run, and it's going out for a goal kick every single time. Like, I like the comment from Brian O'Halloran that says, Man United did their best to lose that game. We are really bad at the moment. And I think that's a great way of putting it, that they should have lost that game because they wobbled. We got that goal back, and they wobbled, and they were there for the taking. But instead of delivering the knockout blow and taking the game, we were soft as baby shit, and we fucking handed it right back to them.
And you see 8 minutes of injury time, you think, okay, 8 minutes, you'll create one good chance. And we did. We created one good chance, and we didn't take it.
Yeah, the last chance of the game, I think it's Gakpo dummies a ball from the left wing, and it comes right into the mixer. And who's there out of all the players on your team that you want to be trying to handle that ball in the box? It's Ibu Konate. And it's like, I get he's there for the height, but Jesus, that ball fell to feet, and now we've got Ibu Konate there.
In fairness, I don't think Cody could have even taken it from there. It was blocked off.
No, it was a good dummy. It was a good dummy.
It was the right thing to do. You just wanted anyone but coming onto it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and
Someone said there's like
13, saying the chance that Salah missed is criminal. He passes it 5 yards to Verts and it's a tap in. That's another one of those balls that just floated to the back post, and Mo was able to ghost in. Cody did it a couple of times as well too, and he lashed it. Both of them, Salah did. The first one, he tries to go short, and you get it. It's kind of that cheeky finish to go to the short side there when the keeper's obviously expecting you to go to the big side of the goal. And then on the second one, like Ant says, just square the ball to Verts and let him have a shot from a better angle. And it's just
it is. It's make sure of the goal. It's make sure of the goal.
But I mean, Cody Gakpo just converts his header, and you don't really have to worry about it too much. Kev, let's do man of the match, honorable mention, and must do better.
Look, Cody Gakpo is still man of the match.
Yeah,
he got the goal. He ate the woodwork a few times. He was threatening constantly. He was thereabouts around everything positive that we did. Even to miss the chance, that the header that he missed, still had to be there to miss it. Do you know what I mean? Out of all of them, I'd say Konate did well. Konate get my honorable mention. Yeah, he'll be blamed for the goal, but still, comparing to his performances over the last week or the last few weeks for us this season, is a marked improvement. Even on the ball, carrying the ball 5-10 yards and laying it off. You know, it was little things like that I liked seeing from him. Defensively, he made some really good covering tackles as well. Very strong in the air. I think overall he had a good game. Unfortunate for the Maguire goal, but look, Harry Maguire will get the best out of an awful lot of players in the air. So that's by the by. Could do better. Arne Slot. I don't know for the life of me what he saw to set up a side to play like that in the first half. Palace was bad enough, telling Florian Wirtz to come inside and condense the pitch and make life easy for Palace. But today, telling you two of your three central midfielders to go and stand on next to your striker to come short for passes, what the fuck are you thinking? United's biggest weakness in that side is Bruno Fernandes and Casemiro in the middle of the park.
Yeah,
and we didn't outnumber them.
You wouldn't have known that they had two older players that don't know how to run that well.
No. Casemiro went and played 2 games for Brazil, travelled halfway around the world, played for an hour, got booked and got taken off, and had the easiest game he'll have had for years at Anfield. He won't play an easier game at that. He shouldn't play an easier game at Anfield again. Arne Slot has definitely fucked that up. He's had 2 weeks to think about it, and if that's what he's come up with in 2 weeks, he's fucked it up big time.
Yep. Yeah. I completely agree on Cody Gakpo being man of the match. I do like the fact that there's a few people that just do not see that at all. And I mean,
look, people have agendas. Look, people will hang their head on Cody Gakpo, and just no matter what he does, Curtis Jones is the same. Alexis McAllister is going to get it. Salah's going to start getting it now. Virgil's going to get it. You know, people have agendas, and that's okay. But if you see someone having a shit game, I tore into Ibu for the last month, but today it was okay. So I'll say it was okay.
But I mean, you've also given Ibu that, and then you set a very low bar for him. You're like, oh, he's carrying the ball 5 yards. Like, wow.
But it's not that. It's by doing that, he's committing a player to him. Whereas for the last 3 games, he really wasn't. He was standing on the ball, playing it sideways, not moving. He looked like a deer in the headlights. Whereas today he was able to get the ball out of his feet, commit players, and play the simple thing right. You know, I want to see more of that from him, because he's a good footballer when he wants to be. There's a reason for it, because he started his career. When I first saw him playing in Germany, he was playing as a fullback, or playing as a right-sided centre-back in a 3. So he's able to play football. But for whatever reason, in the setup that we're playing with at the minute, it's almost like they're hamstrung in what they're trying to do. And there's too many players in that 11 today that just looked like they were playing with straitjackets on. It just was all right. That's why Slot is my one to improve in a big way.
Yeah. Gakpo man of the match for me. The only one that carried any amount of consistent danger, especially in the first half. Everybody else in the forward line, you'd have been shocked to know that our record signing was playing in that game. And that's borderline fucking unacceptable, because that is a complete lack of threat just about that Alexander Isak offered us. My honorable mention, I think, is Curtis Jones. I really like the way, I mean, I was obviously begging for scraps at this point, but I like the way that Jones works with Florian Wirtz, because Curtis Jones is happy to come deep and collect the ball off of the back line, turn around, get his head up, because we know he holds onto the ball very well, and then play that short pass into Florian Wirtz. I don't want Florian Wirtz coming back and taking the ball off of Virgil van Dijk or Milos Kerkez. I don't want him that far away from goal. I want somebody else to go and do that. And that should be McAllister doing that, and it's just not working. But Jones was able to do that again and again and again. They were lumping the ball out back to our back line. Jones would go back, collect the ball, get his head up, and look to play that pass to Wirtz. And don't have everything be on him. Let him be the middle pass. Let Florian Wirtz be the middle pass in a 1-2, like in a give and go. Don't have to have him carrying the ball all the time. So I want to see that continue and have a chance to nurture a little bit more, because it's just otherwise not working at all. And it needs to do better. It has to be Milos Kerkez. I forgot to mention it. Somebody in the chat threw it out there. He had a foul throw in the first half, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
That is basics. Basics. And we are not doing it. And it's, extremely, extremely annoying. But there's going to be more fallout from this. Gav and some Sunday night gents will be back in about 2.5 hours to take a more digested look at the game and see if they can come up with any revolutionary breakthroughs on exactly what the fuck the problem is.
Well, they'll have seen the interviews after the game. I'm sure they'll talk about that and definitely go into this a bit more. Yeah, it's undoubtedly, and have a little bit more time to not be so furious with indignant anger over just how shit we are, because we've lost 4 games in it. It's weird not having the quotes to do, actually. Feels like there's so much show still left, but yeah.
We can get out of here in an hour, Kev. This is easy. Go watch NFL football. It's going to be the start. I told my wife when the second goal went in, Kev, I said, it's going to be a cursed sports weekend for me. My hockey team lost last night. Liverpool lose this morning. Green Bay's probably going to lose this afternoon, and then the Blue Jays are going to lose in Game 6 of the American League Championship Series tonight. The whole sports weekend is just ruined.
I'm probably going to sit down and watch the F1, the US GP in Austin. So I want to sit down and watch a bit of that.
That's a good idea. When's that on?
Now.
Right now.
Yeah. I think it started about about 6 minutes ago, I think.
Shit. So we're a couple of laps behind. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. If you like what was happening on here, we probably lost a few of the drop-ins, but you'll see the QR codes on the screen to join our Patreon. Our Patreon has a bunch of shows, the likes of which you cannot get away with doing on YouTube. It makes it seem super edgy, but it's mostly just the fact that we use live video clips. So we'll go through some of the incidents from the weekend's play on a show called Ref Watch and Good Process, whatever it's called, Football Around the World. Where you actually get a chance to look at the video clips with Gav and whoever else is on the shows with them. Reaction Extra, same thing with extended highlights from this game where a couple of people will get on and chit-chat about the highlights and actually look at them like a proper sports show. So that's only available on our Patreon. Scan the QR code if you want to come over and check it out. Try it for a month. We think you're probably going to like it. Apparently there's some rugby on as well too. Yeah, see, it's a sports weekend and everybody I like is gonna fucking lose. So here we go. But Kev, anything else before we go?
Nah, nothing. No, shit results, worst performance. Bring on Frankfurt.
Yeah, I guess.
And one thing I'll say about Frankfurt, because we will probably do a preview of it, they score goals for fun. They love scoring goals. They can see the shit ton. They had one game this season. It was 6-4. They've had 2 5-1s going either way. So yeah, it's going to be mad as fuck.
So bet on the over if you're into the sports gambling. You might want to take the over in that game. Yeah. But yes, there'll be a rake of shows coming up with that. So yeah, Gav in 2 hours and 20 minutes for the Sunday night show. Possibly a show on Monday, maybe some Ref Wash Reaction Extra on Monday, build up to the Frankfurt game, and then, of course, we're right back into it. We'll have another post-match show where, for the love of God, let's talk about a win, Cam. this.
Please.
I haven't been on a lot of shows. I was really hoping to come back in for a win, but instead we all had to watch that as Manchester United win for the first time at Anfield in the league since Louis van Gaal was the manager. So that's what we're there to deal with. Something's got to change. Hopefully what doesn't change is everybody joining us on shows like this afterwards. So thanks for joining us, everybody. Hit the thumbs up button. We'll see you after the